Welcome to EWIT Diamond Interviews, where we spotlight extraordinary women in tech, uncovering their personal journeys, leadership, wisdom, and the impact they're making in the world. Today, we're honored to welcome Rathi Murthy, a powerhouse in tech and an extraordinary woman, inspiration to many. Currently, Rathi is the CTO at Varo Bank, where she's spearheading innovation in digital banking industry. Previously, Rathi has held some of the most influential roles in tech, including president and CTO at Expedia Group, CTO at Verizon Media, CTO at Gap, and the CIO at American Express. Welcome, Rathi.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the lovely introduction. Excited to be here.
So I have a kind of a warm-up question. If someone was making a movie about you and someone was playing a main character, which actress or actor would you choose to play you in the movie about your life, and why?
Oh my God, that is such an intense question. I think Audrey Hepburn.
I love it.
When you think about her movies, she's just free, herself, feels like the girl next door, free spirit, but full of confidence and knows how to live life with joy. And that's how I see myself.
Oh, that's beautiful. I love it. And can you take us back to some moments or series of moments that really shaped who you are as a leader today? And was there a pivotal experience that changed everything for you?
That's such a lovely question. And honestly, there have been several pivotal moments in my career that I would say have shaped me as a leader. One early defining experience was at Healthion, a healthcare startup, which is now WebMD, where I was focusing on transforming the physician space with technology. And we built a solution to digitize medical records, something that seems really obvious today. But at that time, it was a radical shift. We had the best product, we had the best idea, but I quickly learned that timing is everything. At that time, physicians were not ready to give up valuable office space for their computers. So I would say that experience taught me that having the right solution is not enough. It has to meet the market at the right moment. I didn't have all the answers. I was doing things that I'd never done before, even things like wiring, like drawing the wires to get connectivity across the office. So it really pushed me to lean on others for their expertise. And that's where I would say I truly began to understand what it means to lead, creating the conditions for others to thrive and succeed, and going out of your comfort zone a little bit to win. Major turning point in my corporate career came at American Express, where I was selected as part of the Accelerated Leadership Development Program. This was a very prestigious program offered to the 50 top executives in the company. It was an intense 9-month training where we got to go to Duke University, and the C-level execs and presidents actually invested their time on a one-on-one mentorship program with us to really create the next level of leaders at American Express. That experience helped me build confidence in public speaking, navigating complex conversations, and really becoming comfortable taking risks. Also bringing out my authentic self, like what are the pieces that help me lead with authenticity and confidence across the board. So I would say that has shaped my leadership at scale in a very big way. Each chapter of this journey has really contributed to who I am. I think my power plays have been that confidence, being curious, and always focused on building solutions that make a meaningful difference to the world.
That's wonderful, Rathi. I'm hearing a few things from your share is always try something new, take risks, and really figure it out as we go. That's one I hear. And the second one is also building your brand, building your voice, building a confidence where you have to push yourself actually to the next level, where you facing the challenge with being with other C levels, right? And becoming that thought leader, right?
Yes. Yes.
Fantastic. Wonderful. And now I want to flip the coin and talk about the purpose, because when I look at your career, you've accomplished so many things. And when you're already at that top level, talking about finding your purpose, what drives you every day? You know, in the industry that can be very demanding and fast paced, where do you find your motivation and sense of purpose?
I think you talked about it a little bit. Where you said, for me, what drives me is the opportunity to create solutions that truly improve people's lives. That is my purpose. At Varo, for example, our mission is to serve the underserved and underbanked, people who are often living paycheck to paycheck, and they're historically excluded from the fair financial services. Being able to offer them banking in the power of their hands, like fee-free banking and lending solutions, is incredibly rewarding. You can truly impact lives of so many Americans, is incredibly rewarding. But beyond the mission, I find deep purpose in building high performing teams. That I love working with, removing friction and really enabling people to find the power they can unlock and feel that success. Everybody's talking about newer technologies. Gen AI is one, but really being able to create an environment which is risk taking, celebrating failures as much as you can celebrate success, providing that safety net where really innovation can thrive, is something I love doing and supporting. But I think you talked about purpose. For me, purpose, it comes from within. I have, going a little bit to my personal side of me, I've been a long time practitioner and teacher of art of living. And I do daily meditation, and that's like a foundational part of my life. It's really where I find that clarity. I call it often, that's the way I flush my cache and start my day afresh. And that really grounds me. It reminds me that no matter how complex every day is, I can meet it with calm presence and compassion. And that leads me to my everyday.
It's beautiful, right? You know what you shared is I resonate with a lot of women, especially in leadership roles, where they feel burnout and they feel they cannot be in many places at the same time. They're solving complex problems, but every woman that really accomplished, she has a tool or something that works for her. You know, daily walks, morning meditation, and it sounds like you have a purpose with a um, artful of living, but also finding your balance through meditation. And you mentioned one important thing that I want to go on the next topic is leadership and the impact you want to leave, after you for the next generation of women. Tell me a little bit about, as a tech leader, you talked a little bit about your authenticity, leading with authenticity, also taking risks, making a space where people can make mistakes. What is the top things that you're most proud of from your career on the leadership moment, and where do you see your legacy as leaving for the next generation of women?
I would say I'm most proud of building cultures where innovation, inclusion,
Mhm.
and execution thrive together. Whether it's launching scalable platforms, whether it's modernizing legacy systems, or creating products that can change lives of people, whether it is making travel more fun or banking that's free, whatever, the real impact lies in how we do the work and not just what we build. One of my proudest accomplishments is mentoring and growing future leaders. I've seen women and men on my teams take bold risks, break barriers, and go to lead large major initiatives across industries. They allow themselves to be vulnerable and that risk taking. And I think that gives me the most pride, creating an environment where people feel safe to speak up, challenge assumptions, bring their whole authentic selves to work. I think that's where transformation happens. As for legacy, I hope to be remembered as someone who not only built great technology, but also opened doors for others, especially women. to lead confidently, challenge the status quo, and know that they belong at that table.
That's beautiful, Rathi. Thank you so much. And it's really important for this particular platform to go in deeper on sisterhood and support. Because what I've noticed, and I keep talking about it, that women support women later on their careers, stages where they feel more confident, they can give back. How can we turn things around and really build a community support system that actually helps women to enter in the early stages, build their voice, build their brand? Is there something that you have implemented or you can suggest or advise to other women to really build something different for young generation of ladies?
Yeah, it's actually such a great question. And honestly, sisterhood is such a nice name because it really is sisterhood. We need to feel that responsibility to support each other and help grow each other. I'd say the biggest issue today is the younger generation does not know they have us to help them, and they don't ask for help. For me, sisterhood has played a critical role in my life, sometimes in the form of mentors, and other times as just a quiet encouragement from peers who believed in me when I doubted myself. I will tell you so many stories. I'll share a few stories with you. There was one time I was actually promoted to an SVP, my first SVP. And this happens to so many of us women. That's why I share this. When I got promoted, I was actually taking on the role of somebody else. And in that company, the levels were level like bands. And it was a band 70, a band 80. And they made their offer to take that role, but we're going to down level that band. They're like, we can give you that lower level band, but you get the title. And I was, because many women like me, I hope I'm not alone here, we don't give that much importance to titles or levels, and you're just excited to participate and give back and do your best work possible. And I agreed. And that it was one of the other women leaders at the same level who stood up for me and said, nope, she will not accept that. If the man was at that higher level band who was doing this job as is, there's absolutely no reason why she should accept being leveled down. And it is that, for me, is sisterhood. Someone who steps up to support you, who shouts out for you, even without asking, and we all need to find that voice within us to speak up and support the younger generation or other women like us struggling. I have seen early in my career that many women who I aspired to be, but over time I built relationships with other women who had similar challenges. We supported each other. We really created this community where you were honest, you shared your challenges, you helped each other dream big, you committed to supporting each other in a way, like if I'm not in the room and a role is being discussed and I think you are a better candidate, I will speak up on your behalf. So making sisterhood real and intentional, I think, is a message I'd like to share.
I love it. Thank you, Rathi. I think it's so authentic to share the real stories, because women need to hear, like, what could I do as a person? If I'm in a situation where I could speak up for someone else, let's just do it. Let's move forward. Same thing we're going to get in return. As long as we are in action for our, particular moments, and where we can see we can make a difference, let's do that.
One of the lines I often use is, when one woman rises, she has a duty to pull up others with her. And that's the power of sisterhood.
Absolutely. I love it. We have to use it. I would love to talk a little bit about AI, Rathi. I know you've done a lot of great things, and AI is reshaping the tech landscape. So how are you personally approaching AI in your work? And what opportunities or challenges do you see it creating for women in leadership roles?
This is a very thought-provoking question. Look, AI is transforming how we build, operate, and serve our customers. And this is an area I've been super excited because I do think it's going to revolutionize the whole world, and it's just the beginning. At Varo, we're leveraging AI to drive personalization, detect fraud more efficiently, make smarter decisions like with underwriting. But what excites me the most is AI's potential to expand access, whether it's financial inclusion, education, healthcare, almost every vertical. If built thoughtfully, it can truly help level the playing field. If there's a word I can use, it can democratize intelligence, which is an interesting concept. So one of the big challenges is ensuring diversity in thought and background in the teams shaping AI. We've all heard about bias, and bias comes when it's not inclusive. If women aren't part of the design and decision-making process, we really risk reinforcing bias instead of breaking it. So
Yeah.
let me, for example, a real example. Many generative AI models today are trained to optimize for user satisfaction. So they often produce responses that are overly flattering and agreeable. They've seen, it really works because those answers tend to get higher engagement. When I give you a flattering, positive response to your questions, you give me a thumbs up. But over time, this creates an echo chamber. It rewards familiarity over truth, likability over challenge, and that can subtly reinforce bias. If women's voices and perspectives don't fit the algorithm's mold of acceptable, they will risk being filtered out. And that's
For
why I
sure.
think this is a very pivotal moment for women in leadership. We have a responsibility to shape not just the tools, but the ethical frameworks and the guardrails around them. We need to be at that table, asking the difficult questions, challenging assumptions, and imagining inclusive futures that work for everyone, not just the loudest or most optimized majority.
Yeah, but it's also you touching on an important topic, how AI is an opportunity for us to really shape up faster, ramp up, automate. If women are really looking into how do I have an equal space in AI and transformation and how I can embrace it. And question for you, for young generation. I know that there is a lot of women now entering tech world, which is exciting. But from your perspective, of you've seen a lot of different things and challenges that you went through when you were bringing up in the tech industry. What advice would you give to young women entering the tech world, especially when it comes to embracing AI, staying confident in the spaces where they still may be underrepresented today?
I grew up in a college where I was one of five girls in a class of 100. And so very early on, you should just, I would say, first and foremost, know that you belong. Even in rooms where you may be the only one, your perspective matters more than you think. And second, don't wait to be an expert before you step forward. And there's a common thing, like as women, we want to know 150% before we claim to know all the answers and give advice. Whereas often the men are okay providing feedback even when they know 50%. Technology, especially AI, is evolving so rapidly that curiosity, adaptability, ethical thinking, they're just as valuable as technical skills. Stay open, keep learning, and surround yourself with people who challenge and support you.
Good.
Finally, I would say define success on your own terms. The tech world can sometimes make you feel like there's only one way to lead, or one path to follow. But the truth is, there's room for so many styles of leadership, many types that can make an impact. So I'll tell you, I myself have tried to emulate leaders, the perfect leader that I assumed is perfect, and I was less effective. But the minute I embraced really who I am, I became really impactful because people related to me. I felt like the girl next door. They could talk to me. So all types of leadership, all styles have an impact. So be bold, be authentic, and never underestimate the power of showing up fully as yourself.
Thank you for sharing your incredible story with us. Your journey and your voice are not only powerful, but essential in shaping up the future of the tag for all of us. And thank you for all this advice for the girls and empowering us to really be in action, to be authentic. I love your advice for really be yourself and become who you are, because that will lead you forward versus you fitting in someone else's shoes. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care.